Yeah, it's your boy Crypto Blood. Welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It is August 14th, 2018, and we're rocking out to some Isaac Hayes, my man, the Resident Alien Invasion. What a crazy name. He wanted me to play that. I told him absolutely. I love some Isaac Hayes every once in a while. Hope you guys are doing all right today, hanging in there. This bloodbath is continuing. So today we're going to be talking about two things. One being a new metric that gold has just been surpassed by Bitcoin on, despite a 70% retracement in the Bitcoin's price in the last few months here. So I have a neat article that talks about that. And also, we've got some experts out here saying that the ETF is not, we shouldn't be focusing on that. And they've got some reasons why Bitcoin will take over the world, and it won't be because of an ETF. Thought this was an interesting article as well out of CoinGate. So we'll take a look at that in a second. But first, get over to cryptoblood.io. 2 more days left to join the trading room and save your portfolio. You should have joined a long time ago, but still able to join. $2.99, 3 months. There are 31 slots left, I believe. Not 32. I haven't updated. 2 days left. Guys, join if you want. The doors will be closing. Won't open up until November sometime. So check it out, cryptoblood.io. You'll see it on the home page. So let's take a look at this market cap. We are under, and I repeat, we are under $200 billion. We're currently sitting at $192 billion. And look at Bitcoin's dominance, 54%. This really shows you, I'm telling you guys, the sentiment in this market. Ethereum, 259, down 34% in the last 2 days. Ouch. EOS down even worse. And Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash not too far behind either. It's just a straight exodus from the altcoins as we see a revaluation. I told you guys yesterday in the price of these altcoins, and I explained Ethereum, why I believe Ethereum is going to see even more. It's going to see more downturn, more percentage losses versus the other coins, and I kind of explained that yesterday, so check out that video if you want to hear more about that. But we are right at a pivotal point, people. Very crucial point right now. I'm not too sure. I don't know. I'm more of a reactionary trader, so if I were manually trading, I would have my shorts going in probably around 5,800 and would stay long above 5,800. Yeah, this is where we are. Very critical point right now. We may see some significant moves up or down here in the next 12 hours after this video has been published. So we'll just have to see. I'll update you guys on Twitter if I see anything significant. But the first article out of CCN, despite its 70% price drop, Bitcoin surpassed gold in settlement volume. So this is a metric that I was referring to, that Bitcoin has surpassed gold in. So let's look at this a little bit closer here. Nick Carter, a well-respected cryptocurrency researcher, has said that Bitcoin has surpassed the OTC gold market in settlement volumes, even amidst a 70% drop in its price. Bitcoin is better medium of exchange. According to the clearing statistics of the London Bullion Market, LBMA, 5 major clearing members of the LPMCL, including HSBC, ICBC, Standard Bank, JP Morgan, Scotiabank, and UBS, the global gold over-the-counter market is on track to settle $446 billion in 2018, having settled less than $30 billion on a monthly basis since January. In contrast, based on the data provided by Coinmetrics, a cryptocurrency market data provider cited by Carter, the Bitcoin market has already processed $848 billion this year and is on track to surpass $1.38 trillion by the year's end. Wow, so that's much more than gold. So it kind of gives you a table of the clearing statistics for gold and silver. And it just goes on to say that given the LBMA account for at least 70% of the gold over the counter at $848 billion, Bitcoin has already settled more value in the past 8 months than the predicted settlement volume of the entire gold market in 2018. Carter goes on to explain, I am conservatively estimating that London OTC market for gold overseen by the LBMA at 70% of global volume. They publish clearing statistics. With these, I can estimate the total net volume of regulated gold settlement at 446 billion for 2018. And so the article goes on to say here, guys, that Carter's comparison did not include Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, Cardano, Litecoin, and other major cryptocurrencies. Ethereum, for instance, settles nearly 2 times more transactions on a daily basis than Bitcoin. So generally, transactions on the Ethereum network are smaller in value than Bitcoin, as the majority of payments are initiated by decentralized applications to cover costs involved in processing information. So then the article poses a question. So what is holding Bitcoin back? A senior analyst over at JP Morgan said in December of 2017 that cryptocurrencies could evolve into a major asset class and compete against traditional assets like gold if more publicly traded and strictly regulated financial instruments like futures and exchange traded funds are introduced to U.S. markets. He goes on to explain, in all, the prospective introduction of Bitcoin futures has the potential to elevate cryptocurrencies to an emerging asset class. The value of this new asset class is a function of the breadth of its acceptance as a store of wealth and as a means of payment, and simply judging by other stores of wealth such as gold, cryptocurrencies have the potential to grow further from here. So what do you guys think? I definitely agree with that. Interesting to see that little tidbit about Bitcoin settling more than double what gold has in the year so far, and is looking to double that by the year's end. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I really see Bitcoin as that new asset class that will be available for Wall Street in early 2019. I really do. There's just too many major institutions laying the groundwork for financialization of Bitcoin. So definitely see that coming, and I thought that was a good tidbit for you guys to check out. I don't know, man. I really think, and me personally, I haven't dealt with precious metals since I found Bitcoin. Literally, that's when I stopped messing with precious metals and purchasing it. Value is perceived, and it's always placed on it. Nothing has value just inherently, except for the things that sustain life. Food, water, air. That has for sure has value for us because we must have those to live. However, anything else is all perceived value. And that argument that used to be used by the gold bugs back in the day is as they can see probably is not a valid argument in my opinion. So I think cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, will definitely take over the gold markets. We're in a digital age, and if there's a solar flare or EMP or whatever you want to call it that knocks out the power grids across the globe, listen, gold is the last thing you'll be thinking about. You'll need guns and butter, baby. Guns and butter. So we can't even use that scenario to prove a point, right? Let me know your thoughts about this, though. I think this is interesting, and I think this is good news for Bitcoin. I know, you don't see it today, people, because of the markets are really down, but you zoom out 3-4 years from now, and you even just zooming out, you look back 2 years, the performance of Bitcoin, you'll definitely see this asset class is here to stay and it ain't going nowhere. The second article out of CoinGate, experts shun Bitcoin ETF. This is how Bitcoin will take over the world, they say. It ain't going to be through an ETF. So experts are dismissing the importance being given to the Bitcoin ETFs and stating the potential facets that will actually help Bitcoin in growing and acquiring value in the long term. So it says here, Bitcoin ETFs don't hold much value to these experts. Bitcoin ETFs hold substantial value in the market, evident from the fact that the prices first started dropping when the Winklevoss brothers Bitcoin ETF was rejected by the SEC. However, The experts believe there is an undue importance given to these exchange-traded funds. First came Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin, who shared that adoption is the key to moving forward instead of Bitcoin ETFs. Then came Dan Moorhead, the manager of the crypto hedge fund Pantera Capital, who said investors are overreacting over Bitcoin ETF rejection. Bitcoin doesn't need Bitcoin ETF to grow or to reach new heights. Back in December, Bitcoin hit $20,000 without an ETF. Now Nick Szabo, a big name in the crypto industry, is going with the same tune as he commented in part, Bitcoin can be even more securely stored than gold. You are losing Bitcoin's main benefit by trusting someone else to store it for you. So I agree with him, but I heard someone bring this same argument to me via YouTube. They said, well, we ran up to 20,000 without ETFs. And I think people fail to realize ETFs were still a topic. Just in early 2017, we had the Winklevoss, or maybe it was 16, sometime in 16, I can't remember, don't quote me on it, but we had the Winklevoss attempt to do so the first time with an ETF. And you got to remember, smart money kind of knows what's going on behind the scenes. So in 2017, for sure, many of the ETFs that were submitted in 2018 were being worked on in 2017. So a lot of smart money was probably buying in anticipation for the day that the ETFs would be passed, or they hoped to be passed. So I think ETFs still were definitely a prominent factor in us running up in 2017, along with retail dumb money getting in toward the top, right? So I think that's definitely something I want to highlight. Nick goes on to say dumb money is a high time preference addiction. I don't know what the hell that means. He says, I care much more about Bitcoin's utility as a globally seamless and censorship resistant store of value and medium of wealth transfer, hopefully in the future with more secure and friendlier wallets. So it goes on to say here, what does crypto and Bitcoin need exactly? Top of the list is better wallets, more flexible multi-sig and backup options, allow people to customize their own trust, minimize key management, including minimizing vulnerability to future self, better multi-generational key management, more and friendlier use of the second layer. I agree with that. Another prominent guy, Cobra Bitcoin, said that there's a massive 42% increase in visitors to Bitcoin.org from Istanbul as the Turkish lira plummets. This is how Bitcoin takes over the world, not through ETFs and hodling, but through replacement fiat currencies as they fall apart. Now, I just want to stop there. I got to slightly disagree with Cobra because we saw this spike when Cyprus had its issues and Europe was trying to ring fence that whole banking crisis. There was a doubling in Bitcoin when that happened. And it's not a doubling in the price because people want to replace their sovereign fiat currencies with crypto, with Bitcoin. No, that's not what's going on. It's just a flight to safety. Just as we just talked about in the previous article, gold. Gold still is somewhat, but I think will transition out of being the flight to safety asset, and it will be like a hybrid because we all know that in times of crisis, the first move that smart money makes is to go into US dollar, then they'll reallocate into other asset classes. I don't think that we'll ever see Bitcoin used as money, okay? It will be used as a store of wealth, not as money. There is a difference. So, I don't think we'll see Bitcoin being used by countries like Turkey, where they're having a huge issue right now. And we'll see more and more countries having these fiat issues. U.S. will be last, in my opinion. You guys let me know your thoughts. I think U.S. monetary system will be the last to fall and may end up making it out and being the one that transitions us into the newer money paradigm So the U.S. dollar may be used as a conduit for that transition into the new money paradigm that we're going into. So you guys let me know, what do you think? This Turkish lira thing is crazy. Definitely is something that we need to pay attention to, and you'll see more and more countries fleeing, these smaller countries fleeing their currencies and heading into Bitcoin as a place to stash wealth until they can reallocate into something else. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And that's pretty much it for today. It's your boy Crypto Blood. And I'm out. We're going to listen to this Isaac Hayes, baby. Yeah.